Hello everybody and welcome to another pick a card reading. I hope you're all doing really well. This is the first pick a card reading that I'm doing for 2024. So I'm really happy to be here and to be doing this for you. Now this is a pick a card reading for the year ahead. Now as I said, it is 2024 and I'm doing it in the spirit of reading for 2024, but you could be watching this at any time. So, you could pick up this video at the end of 2024 and then it could be for 2025. It also could be for any future years. Whenever you come across this reading is the right time for you. So what does the year ahead have in store for you? That will be the title of this reading and the question that we have. So we have 3 piles to choose from. Now this is a general reading, please be aware. So not all of the messages will resonate. Take only what does, discard the rest. If you're interested in having a more in-depth personal look at your own journey, your own personal journey, you can contact me for a personal reading. My email is in the description box below. So we have 3 piles for you to choose from. We have pile 1, and this is with this gorgeous Labradorite stone. Then we have pile 2, which is this gorgeous green garnet. And then we have pile 3 with this beautiful amber calcite. So pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Timestamps will be in the description box below, my friends, and I'll see your reading. Bye. Pile 1, hello and welcome to your reading. So you chose this gorgeous Labradorite. So there's something about manifestation. We've also got a little bit of purple. The purple flash here, I don't know if you can see that. I might switch the light on. But manifestation for you feels like it's going to be a major component in this year. It also feels like it's going to be something that you haven't really achieved before. You haven't really looked at before. I don't know if you can see that purpley flash. You can just about see it there. Yeah, it's going to be something that you haven't really achieved before. So you're kind of stepping into new territory. I'm just also noticing that there's a bit of wax here as well. So there may have been things that you're almost like getting rid of. You're needing to kind of shed and clean off before you kind of before you move on with your new projects. It's almost like you have to make sure everything is clean. You know, like we have it's good to clean your house, like before there's like major events that go on. For example, they say it's really good to clean your house before New Year's or things like that. So that you can welcome in the new energy. And I think that's really important because we've got this beautiful kind of sheen that's happening now. And the parakeets have I just heard them in the background. And also because this is like a manifestation stone, which has so many different colors, like so many different rainbow colors. We don't have the blue, which is interesting, but we do have the purple, which is the rarest. We have a little bit of the blue, but not too much. And purple is the rarest color in Labradorite, like it's highly sought after. So it just seems that you need to make sure all your checks and balances are in place before you go forward with finalizing your project. But it is, or whatever you've got in place, but it seems like you are on a very good road for it to be happening and for it to manifest in a really kind of stable way. I love this stone because it's just really easy to, and I remember choosing it. There was like loads of different types of stones, and there were ones that were quite like round, and this one, I don't know, it just fits so perfectly into the palm of my hand. So, and I'm just thinking also back to the time of when I actually bought it. So, you know, it may also be that when you thought about something that is going to be manifesting in this year that you're watching this reading for, you didn't know. You may not have even have thought of what it was exactly. It may have been just a distant memory. You might not have even realized what it was. You may have just thought, okay, this is my idea of what I might like to do, or I might have started doing it. But it's not really something that I can see myself doing. So basically, right, when I bought this stone, I had no idea that I would be doing the work that I would be doing. So that kind of gives you an idea of what I'm getting from this. So maybe the things that are coming to fruition this year, if you looked back 5 years ago, that might have been just a twinkle in the eye, something that it might have just been a fleeting dream, and now it's actually coming to fruition. So that's what's happening. So I'm just going to pop that in a place where the light can shine on it. So let's put it there. And let's have a look at your card. The prayer, well, I mean, and it's interesting because I did see these cards beforehand, but I didn't pay attention to them. Story of my life. So, and this is 50, 60, 65, 65, 11. Wow. So definitely that energy of something coming to fruition that you wished would happen. It's almost like a call to the universe. That's really interesting because it's got a gemstone here, but I saw a drum first of all. Can you see that? So, and I mean, it's kind of resonant with the backs of these cards. So I think that a gemstone, when you think of a gemstone, it takes a long time to come through. And what we think of as a long time may not necessarily be a long time. But in this case, you know, gemstones take thousands of years to make, and maybe even hundreds of years to make, at the very least, I would say. I think you can get some like lighter crystals that will form over like tens of years, or maybe even less. But the harder the crystal, usually the longer it takes to, or the more valuable the crystal, or the harder the crystal, let's say. So for something more foundational, tactile, more kind of, not tactile, more sturdy, it takes time. Proper foundations are needing to be put into place in order for you to really make sure that what you want is going to be fulfilling. And that's what is coming to pass. It feels like your prayers have been answered, pile 1. Brilliant start. Okay, let's have a look. So that's kind of the energy that you're entering in the year with. And this is what it is transforming into. Oh, wow. That's beautiful. Spiritus Rector, which is the benevolent guide. Wow. Wow. I haven't actually got this card that often, so I'm just going to have a little look at it. Wow, this is incredible. So this is a real call to your inner knowing and your faith, basically. The small sparks of light that allow us to truly understand and have faith in what is unknown, and that we are being held by the universe, and that we are in a space where we truly can encapsulate our inner knowing and put it forward in a way that helps us to feel good about where we're going, rather than living in a state of fear, is what this card is saying. Both of them are, really. This is a call to you to listen to your inner voice. Not just your inner voice though, to the voice that's always saved you, to the voice that's always helped you. You know, like that song, Ironic, by Alanis Morissette? It's almost like that voice or that energy that helps you in the times where you think that it's all gone, where you don't have that. And it's just interesting how we've got the prayer, and this is almost like you may not receive the signs, you may not receive any signs, but you have to trust still. And that might be quite difficult to hear, but I think it's really important because it means that you learn and start to understand how to trust yourself. And I mean, this stone really kind of encapsulates that, because you've got this kind of like sheen which comes with Labradorite, which is gorgeous and beautiful, but almost you have to turn it over and wait. And it isn't until the very end, you know, you've got this tip that goes to this purple indigo. And that's the space of transformation. That's where things get really amazing. But it's almost like it's a real journey to get there. And I think that you may have had a little bit of disillusionment, doubts about what's actually going on, and you feel that maybe this is something that is not going to happen. But actually it is going to happen. And I think it's important to have the faith in oneself. You know, you've got this far, you know. So just be aware that that faith is important. And that's what's going to keep you going in this time. So let's have a look at your healing oracle. I've got duality and it's reversed. And then I've also got June moon, which is reversed as well. Yeah, I'll take this reversed. I think that's a little wren. I think so. Is it a wren or a robin? I'm not sure. I think it's a wren. So what I'm getting from this is that you are in a space where you're thinking the reality is not meeting what you're hoping for. Something may have happened around June. Something may have occurred that made you think that you don't really believe that things are going to happen. I do get a sense of like a lack of faith here. There's two things. You either did have a lack of faith or you do have a lack of faith. And the duality, I don't know. I feel like there's this sense of being in a kind of negative state of duality, thinking you and them kind of thing. This situation is happening because of, you know, why does it all happen to me kind of thing. And it's just a really interesting dynamic to be thinking about, because, you know, we enter this new year with the expectation that, you know, we want things to evolve. We want things to kind of come forward in a way that are going to help us to be better people or to be better. But sometimes to discard those old patterns is quite difficult. So how do we do that? And I think there may be a sense of lack of faith in oneself, thinking that you're not capable because there's so much duality. There's so many other things to think about. So you may be thinking, how can I have faith in my own sense of self when there's so many other materialistic things to think about, like bills, money, the world around us, how much war is going on right now? It can be very overwhelming. So how do we find the small things that will help us to feel good about being who we are and not feeling like we're indulging? How do we go forward with that? So we've got the world. So what I've been the Ace of Swords. So what I've pulled here is I've pulled like where you're coming, how you're coming into this new year, what you're transforming into. These are the lessons from the old year, and this might have been a time like where things might have changed for you, or you might have been expecting something at that time. Ace of Swords, the Emperor. Okay, this is big. Right, okay, Seven of Cups. Okay, Five of Pentacles, right. Okay, so part one, you know, you really are coming into your own this year. You're really coming into your own, and you're starting to gain your own sense of not only independence, but you're also starting to understand that if you rely on anybody else or anything else, then, or just, you know, dreams, you are not, it's not, you're going to be remaining in a mindset which is not going to really be that beneficial. Now, initially, stepping into a sense of power is going to put you in a space where you feel isolated, because people are not going to be used to that sense of you initially. But I think it's also really important for you to follow your dreams. I think it's important for you to continue to have dreams, because then you can start to really come face to face with the reality. And we're gonna clarify this, because I think this is going to change. I think that's what it is. That's why there's been a lack of faith. Or maybe, you know, there's this striving for wanting to be faithful, to have faith, but it's just really difficult. But what's really interesting about this particular Five of Pentacles is that this character has a crown on its head. Can you see that? And then we have the Emperor here. So this says to me that the Emperor, you're starting to take charge into this space, because you're realizing that the only way that you can really move forward with your, you know, in this year, however it is, it could either be with work, with family, with your loved ones. I think this is more a self-development kind of vibe though, if I'm honest, because I think this is about you taking real charge of your life. Because I don't know, you may have had expectations in the past with other things. You may have had expectations last June, or, you know, that something was going to happen this June coming. You know, you thought that something was going to come through and it didn't. So it's actually making you think, right, okay, now I need to really communicate with myself exactly what I want. And then that in turn enables you to connect with other people with a true sense of integrity. I don't know, you may have realized that it was a little bit fanciful in terms of like you may be having certain expectations on people, or that you, or that, yeah, I think it's more actually, no, I'm going to stick with that one, that you had expectations with of things and people. So it could have been, for example, you stayed in a job, right? They said to you, like your managers, whatever, the people who employ you, they said to you that they were going to promote you by June. They said to you that, or something, by after June, things were going to change, you know. Basically, June was the time, but nothing did change. And I think that there may have been like a sense of you believing that that could have happened. And it was almost like this was dangled in front of you. It was like, this was like, oh, if you work really hard, then you'll do this. Or if you continue to work in the way that you have done, you can do this. But actually, you realized what your value of self-worth was. And it took that period of time of you sitting out in the cold for you to realize, actually, I need to take charge of what I want. I need to do that. I need to do that because, to be fair, no one else is going to do it for me. But it's also really important with the respective duality, because it's almost like you may have ignored this inner knowing. And it's really interesting. I love this because I've got a lot of like this artwork as tattoos on my body. And this is wholly taken up by, you know, it's just dot work. So it's almost ephemeral. It's not solid. So this means it's something that's formed. It's not something that like has been built. It's something that's formed. It's come together almost like a star. So that means that it's not constructed. You can't, you can't, same like with a prayer, it comes together. You don't build it like Lego, you know? It has to kind of manifest together from ethereal matter in order to manifest as truth. You know, same thing like with something like that, like with truth. We don't know, like you can't box the truth, can you? But we know it exists. So it's almost like that had to be formed by all of this that went on. Amazing. Amazing transformation, pile 1. Okay, let's continue. Let's clarify these guys. Love it. I love reading for you guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your energy. It's such a good feeling I'm getting. Pile, oh, love it. 1, pile, sorry, pile 1. Yeah, 8 of Cups. Oh my God, these cards. I think this is my favorite deck at the moment. These cards are just so good. Okay, so we've got the Fool, Intuition, we've got the 8 of Cups, then we've got the 3 of Pentacles reversed. And then we've got, wow, 3 of Wands reversed. And then we've got the 7 of Pentacles reversed. See, I told you. This confirms everything I've said. So like it's I don't know, you might have put faith in some kind of project or something with other people, and now you're realizing I just got to do this myself. I have just got to do this myself. We've got a lot of Saturn here. Saturn in Pisces, Saturn in Taurus, Saturn in Libra. Is it Saturn? Or am I just... Yeah, that is Saturn. Yeah, so we've got a lot of Saturnian energy coming through. So this is like learning. 3 of Pentacles is reversed also with the Emperor. It's knowing that you can't do things with other people. That's crazy. The reason why I say that that's crazy is because we've got the World, which is, you know, the completion, the last card, and it's ruled by Saturn. And then we've got this card, which is the Fool. And we've also got the Ra, we've also got Ra here, and we've got this beautiful image of a fetus and this sense of a rebirth. So you're starting to come to terms with the fact that you I don't know, you may have thought that you could collaborate with people, but you're starting to understand that actually it's just better that you do things on your own. You may have been thinking about like a business or something like that. But yeah, you just have to work things out for yourself. And it's tough. It's really tough because, you know, you may have really wanted to do something with other people, but it's just not working out that way. And what's really interesting is that we have the Flower of Life here. So it's almost, and it's also at the bottom. So what that says to me is that it's almost like you are just stating your own idea that's coming into fruition. So you may be thinking about starting your own business, and this is saying go for it. This is saying that actually, in fact, that if you've been praying for an opportunity to be able to start your own business or have the motivation to do so, you've had a lot of, like, I feel like not very good circumstances that have actually pushed you into a place where you've ended up having to take the action to do so. Particularly with the 7 of Pentacles reversed, because it seems like you can only get so far with people, or not to say that you don't like collaborate, but it's almost like there's only so far that you can get in a job, you know, unless you become the CEO of that company and then the company is yours. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm getting here, pile 1. That mainly you are looking at striving at your own sense of independence. You had to go through this kind of like merry-go-round where you have tried to kind of do something within a space, and you've realized that actually it's kind of thankless, and the values are not in congruency with your own, so therefore you have to do something different. Okay, so let's have a look at some oracle cards for you. Yeah, this one. Wow. Intuition, third eye chakra. It's just there. I don't know if you can see that. Is it gonna come into... There we go. Yeah, there. So you've got, yeah, I mean, you know, this purple color is kind of, it's missing here from the prayer, but then you've got it here, and then you've also got it here. So it's almost like that's going to be a good color for you this year. We've also got 21. So we've got 21, 65, 11, and then we've got 57. 57 is 12. So 11, 12, 8, and 3. 11, 12, 8, and 3. So I think that might also be really interesting. 11 in terms of transformation and, well, actually more so connecting with your spiritual guides. 12, which breaks down to 3. So that's the Empress in terms of you really taking action with yourself. 8 is about you walking away and being able to stand on your own 2 feet, in the respect of you being able to believe in your own values. And then we have 3. Oh, we've got another 3 as well. So like, oh no, we already had that 3. I think no, because this went to 3. Yes. So we've got Empress like energy twice. So, and then we have the Emperor here. So it is about you bringing that into manifestation and not just, you know, embodying and creating. It's about you empowering yourself. Wow. Powerful, powerful reading. Okay. Oh, wow. Walrus, paternalistic autonomy. So, now what I get with this Emperor in particular is that this is very much about you being able to be like your own father figure. You know, that's what I get. When the Emperor is upright, it says to me that you can father yourself. It means that you can support yourself in a way that, you know, you would be the dream paternal figure. And because we've got this paternalistic autonomy and this walrus, not only is this kind of like king aspect, but there's this thing of being able to take charge with authority in your own values. I keep on referring to the values because I think it's really important, because that's what is at the core. And it's interesting how I refer to a company and then we've got like suit and we've got tie and shoes. So it's almost like these things that represent what we think as being, you know, sturdy, corporate, uniform. How do we apply those principles to ourselves in order to make it useful for our lives? What role does that play to us? And I think it's really important to just consider that, rather than expecting someone else to do it for you. It's about you doing it yourself. Okay, and then we've got 2. We've got partnership. Your angel is encouraging you to, I'll just hold it there. Yeah, your angel is encouraging you to embrace the beauty of partnership as the power to bring peace and create unity between individuals, ideas and concepts. By approaching problems with an impartial and empathetic perspective, you will be guided towards a more harmonious outcome. So what that is referring to is the harmonious reconciliation of this duality. So it's helping you to understand that you are not separate. Because the idea of duality is understanding that, yes, we are different, but we are also together. We do also work in a like an ecosystem rather than being as a hierarchical system, which is what I'm getting. You're understanding that functioning within a hierarchical system isn't something that actually is beneficial for you. You're actually realizing that there's something different that you want out there. You want to be your own boss. That's what I'm seeing that. And when you're not your own boss, you kind of go against the sense of duality. It's almost like there's a them and us kind of perspective that goes on with this being reversed. But when you've got this 2 in place, you start to understand that actually I can't think like that, because that's not the truth of the matter. And also, you know, I've got bigger things to confront and bigger values to look at, rather than just thinking about you know, how I'm going to pay for stuff. And, you know, there just seems to me like there's a materialistic principle that's going on here. Also, when we think about June moon usually would be like, so you're looking at either Gemini or Cancer. So, you know, there's something about communication, and there's also something about the home and family. So how do you communicate those principles? And it feels like, because those are the only two that are reversed, it feels like those two are kind of the issues that have been, you know, awry within like the last year. But now they're starting to come into place. They're starting to turn over. This is what it's about. I'm just kind of saying that you've come through that. You're stepping into your paternalistic autonomy, because you've realized that, you know, with this 3 of Wands here, the plans that you make within this dynamic, they just don't come to fruition. If this isn't your reading, you know, it isn't your reading, but, you know, for those of you who it resonates with, then I hope it does help. Okay, so this is the last card. I relax my mind and body and allow my soul to rejuvenate in a goddess bath at the end of a long day. Wow. So what that is saying is taking time out for yourself. I don't know if you have been a little bit begrudging towards you giving yourself some time to relax, because what's really interesting is it's an astronaut, and then we've got all these beautiful blooms. So what I think is important is that for you to consolidate this knowledge, to see maybe, you know, even if you don't resonate with what's going on in this reading, that maybe there might be something that is like, oh, well, what does she mean by like June? What happened around June? What is this idea of duality? What does duality mean to me? Am I listening to my inner guide? What is my inner guide? How do I connect with my inner guide? I relax my mind and body. That's how you can connect to your inner guide. You know, when you're in a state of prayer, usually you're, you know, at the best times of being in that kind of vibration of prayer is usually in a really relaxed, beautiful state. I know that that's not happening, and that can't happen all the time, particularly with what's going on in the world right now. But we have to kind of cultivate a sense of inner peace in order to be able to grow that and make that possible for our external world. So beautiful reading. Pile 1, exceptional reading. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe, share, like, comment, all that good stuff. Share with me if you'd like. I'd love to hear. But otherwise, my darlings, you take care. Have a beautiful, beautiful year ahead. This probably won't be the first, you know, reading for that, but this is the first. So it won't be the last reading for the year, but this is the first one. So start as we mean to go on, pile 1. Anyway, my darlings, you take care, and I'll speak to you really soon. Thank you so much. Bye. And remember, honesty is always key. Pile 2, hello, and welcome to your reading. So you chose this gorgeous green garnet. Now, green garnet is an interesting stone. It's really good for stabilization, and also carries all of the root chakra essence of garnet, and that kind of like blood red vibe, that the blood oxygenation of the blood. But it is also very good for the heart, and it's also very good for money. So this is about you establishing some kind of, I wouldn't go as far as material wealth. Sorry about that. I just realised one of my candles was out, so I wanted to light it for you. I wouldn't just say that it's material wealth. I would say it's more about material stability of self. And that's really interesting, because as I did that, I just noticed the square that is within this circle. So it's almost like you're trying to maintain some kind of stability within a not so stable space. That's really interesting. And it's heavy. The thing I get from this stone is the heaviness. So it's almost like you're trying to, you know, ground. You really are. almost like place roots in the ground where there hasn't been roots before, and doing it in such a deliberate way that is going to make sure that no wind or hurricane is going to topple you in any way. So that's the energy you're entering in the year with. Let's have a look. Oh, sorry, I've got pile one's stone there. So I don't know. I mean, that's also interesting how I left it there. So like when I think about these two stones, this is pile one stone, but I'm just thinking about it. Yeah, I think I was meant to like have to compare the differences between them two. So this is heavy. It's really heavy. It's about you, like, I just see the roots going down into the ground and being able to, you know, like with an orchid, like how the roots go down and they just grow, and they're that beautiful kind of like light green color. They are also that color as well. So in order for you to create something that's essentially very beautiful, you have to make sure that the roots are deep. Love it, pile two. Let's have a look at what your card is. Wow, the Father. Okay. It's really interesting. A lot of similarities with pile one, but I am seeing the difference. It's almost like you are, I wouldn't say that you're a little bit ahead of pile one, but it's almost like that. Whereas pile one came to the realization of what they needed to do, you are in the process of doing it. That's how I feel. So what that means is that you're starting to understand that, you know, you have to do things yourself. You can't expect other people to do it. Whereas like pile one, we're kind of going through the lessons of, I have to realize that I'm not going to do it myself, you know? And not only that, you may have already been doing it. You may have already been doing it, probably in a better way than maybe that your past paternal figures have been doing. There's a real sense of stability. Like the father is the one who is the stability, and that's the paternal figure. This is not necessarily gender specific. This is just like a general archetype of the father, that it's the one who creates the stability and creates the boundaries and will delineate between, you know, what is right, what, you know, is the moral compass, which is what will tell you. Whereas the mother nourishes, the father disciplines. And this is how you notice the difference between what is you and what is something else. That understanding of boundaries, so that you can create, so that you can go ahead and indulge in the maternal energy. So really interesting, actually. So that's what you're entering in this year with. Let's see what you are transforming into. Wow, rotation. Okay, so there's a real understanding of cycles here. You're realizing that you have to respect some things and work with some things in order to capitalize upon this father character, this father energy. Because there are some times where you can capitalize upon, you know, the maternal energy, the maiden energy, the night energy. Do you know what I mean? Like all of those archetypes, the fool energy. You're understanding, actually, no, this, you're starting to kind of understand it. There's also like a Saturnian energy, very, very similar to pile one, but just a real different, different phase, I would say, a more mature phase. And look at that, mother, that's really interesting. What a beautiful balance. This is great, pile two. This is great. It's almost like you are coming into your own. Not only do you understand the principles, you create with them. You do. And it's interesting how we've got bees, we've got spiders, we've got something very nature. So there might be something about you either getting some kind of energy from nature and cycles, because we've got a moon here as well. So there's something very important about this sense of cycles. and being able to work with the cycles, because that's what we did back in the day before we had like the modern conveniences that we do have today. We had to work with the cycles of nature, and those cycles of nature were what ruled us. Like there was no way that we could, you know, get strawberries in the winter for those of us who are in the northern hemisphere. We would have to wait until summer. You know, we would eat within season. We don't get food all the year round. Certain fish, certain foods, certain things that we do at that time. There's a reason why we do what we do, because of the respect that we have for the cycles that are in place. And once we understand that, we really can fly, you know. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but it's really interesting. I tell you, there's an amazing YouTuber called Yona Yinton. Her name is spelled Jonna Jinton. She's incredible. And her documentation of her life, and her life while she's living in the Scandinavian wilderness, I think it's in, I can't remember where it is. Somewhere in that area. Anyway, she really works with the cycles. You know, she would be someone that I think really understands the idea of these principles and how these principles rotate and how she works with them. You know, that would be something. And what she does is like, so she will pick blueberries which are abundant in the summer. She will pick loads of them and harvest them, and then she will freeze them, and then she will drink them in the winter, where they, more often than not, they have pretty much a 24-hour night and a 24-hour sun. That's how far up in the north that she lives. So she puts principles into place where she does that. She knows that there's certain things that she can do in the summer that she can't do in the winter, you know, really understands things like that and lives in accordance with those cycles. And I think that's what's happening here. Like, you're really starting to understand how the cycles affect you and your life, and how you're coming into power by working with those cycles and being adaptable to those cycles. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, I think I've got, one more card and then we'll move on to the tarot. Okay, right. So, okay, self-love. Wow, pile 2. I love it. So, and again, we've got this moon, sun and moon thing. Yeah, you're really stepping into the power of understanding your own cycles and about what they mean for you, and about what, how you can just make them work for you. I think I've said that 1,000 times already. It's just really lovely. I'm just going to take a sip of water. Let's have a look at what your cards want to say. What is going on for pile 2 in the coming year? So this is what you're bringing into this new year. This is what is coming into this new year. This is what you're transforming into, this kind of respect for the cycles. The lessons that you're learning is that you're understanding that you need to practice self-love, and you're actually succeeding in that. I don't know, I am getting that if you're allowing yourself to cry, that's an amazing thing. Maybe you're allowing yourself to indulge in emotions that you hadn't done previously. And I really do feel like, and this is kind of like the timing, so I feel that either there's something going on with some healing around the mother figure, but it also may be that you're like, you know, really understanding the term self-parenting and giving yourself the love that you need. Hang on a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there's definitely a sense of completion, and also a sense of establishment. Like you're really establishing principles that you had previously, and now you're putting them into place. This is 59. No, this is 60. Yeah, 69. 69 is 15, 6. So 2, 6, 5, 2, 6, 5, and 10. So also what I'm getting from that as well is that the self-love part might have been a little bit uncomfortable for you. That might have been something that you might have needed to work through, because that's the only one that's a 5. 2, 6. These are even numbers. 10. And then 5 is a little bit tricksy. But that's good, because then now you're starting to look, and I'm looking at this and I'm seeing, you know, 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Swords, admitting to yourself that there's some things that you need, and accepting those things. Okay, so we've got the King of Swords reversed. We've got the Queen of Swords upright, lovely. We've got the 2 of Pentacles reversed. Wow, Emperor as well. That came up for pile 1. And the 3 of Swords. So, okay, this will only apply to a few of you, but I don't know if some of you have been in a relationship. I did get a sense of that at the very beginning, but I wasn't sure. You may have been involved in a relationship that kind of highlighted your, you know, childhood wounds. And I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of work that you've done to heal that. Incredible work. You really have. And it's been painful. Like I saw that with those things. Like there's been a lot of crying and tears. There may have been. And, you know, this Queen of Swords really like it confirms that in a way. Because it's almost like you're coming to terms with the lack of stability by placing your needs in others. Wow, that's a very similar message to pile 1. If you're attracted to pile 1, go watch it. But I think with the King of Swords reversed, you know, that's a male figure that's just not very nice. Very dictatorial. Somebody who is his way or the highway. Is very much somebody who is not very kind, not very thoughtful, doesn't really see anybody else's perspective, causes a sense of destabilization when you're around them. And that Queen of Swords tells me that, you know, I really do feel like this is fathering yourself, you know, you being your own parent within a situation. Again, I'm not seeing anything specific to work or love. I mean, it is actually that's a fib. It might actually tilt towards love a bit, particularly with these two. But I think this also might be just self-development. You may have been involved in like some kind of toxic relationship or something like that, and then realized, no, I'm actually going to change this for good. Yeah. Because there was a lot of destabilization, and I think you're starting to understand that there is destabilization, and that comes back to what I saw here, like with this square in the circle. And not only that, can you see how it's like it's not central, it's just off. So, and then we've got this kind of hexagonal within this circle. So there's these like different dynamics that we've got within, you know, trying to make these boundaries, trying to assert these boundaries so that we feel okay about who we are and about what we do. And that totally is confirmed by the Queen of Swords. She's the only queen out of those who will tell you what's like, this is my boundaries and you don't cross it, otherwise I'm gonna like slice you up. So yeah, because she's been through it. She's got the idea of, she knows, she's got the experience. She's got a t-shirt, mug, keyring, photo, all of it. And she doesn't want any more. She wants something else that doesn't keep her caged and doesn't take parts from her. Beautiful, really beautiful. So there's a real sense of empowerment, pile 2. A real sense of maturity and empowerment that you're stepping into this year. It's really formidable. You know, like this beautiful pine tree here. I wouldn't even say that you're transforming it. It's more like you're growing into it. It's more like you're not transforming, you're becoming, you know? I'll come back to that word that I used before. It's that sense of maturity. Like the bark is getting harder and starting to be like, I'm the tree now. I'm the queen. I'm the emperor. Not the king, the emperor. The emperor is not a king. The emperor is the collection of kings. And you have the queen here. So it's far bigger than that. This is why it's not just transformation, and it's not you've been transforming, you've been doing that. You're now establishing. Let's clarify this King of Swords. I'm feeling really strong as I'm saying it. I'm feeling really directed as I'm saying it as well. Wow, God of Air. Look at that. Oh my God. So the King of Swords is clarified by the King of Swords. King of Swords reversed is clarified by the King of Swords upright. It's almost like you know what this King of Swords should be doing. Like you're like, hang on a minute. No. This is what it should be like, not what is happening. Oh my God. Okay, so you got the same card in the same position as pile 1 but reversed. Okay. Oh. Well, you got an extra one, didn't you, pile? Pile 2. Okay. Right. Yeah. So 2 of Pentacles is clarified by the Goddess of Earth, which is the Queen of Pentacles. The Emperor is clarified by the Ace of Cups. Oh my God, I love it. 3 of Swords is clarified by the 4 of Pentacles reversed. Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I saw in that. That was the 4 of Pentacles because we've got the 4. Okay, right, so, oh my God, I love it. I love it for you. I love this for you. And let's see what this magical mystery card is. The 5 of Cups reversed. Oh my God. See, I told you. This is like 5 of Cups, 5 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles. Well, 5s, isn't it? And then we've got the, you know, the kind of like hardness of the 5s. And then that's being overcome by this movement of kind of like, right, I know what I want. I know what I'm going to move towards, because what I've been provided with is not what I should be having. You know that you deserve more. Then you've also got the 8 of Cups, because now the 8 of Cups reversed. I think this is you not walking away from yourself. This is you realizing that you actually have a lot more to offer, rather than, and also it may be that you might not be able to walk immediately from the situation. Like, say for example, if you're with a partner that is not really pulling their weight and has caused some kind of like upset or something within your life, that is causing you to kind of like make sure that you're looking after yourself more. You may have some things, okay, yeah, you may have some things that you might not be able to walk away from. You might have to like stick around. There may be, I don't see any kids involved, but there may be. So you might, or more so because of this Goddess of Earth and also the Queen of Swords, it might be that you might have financial constraints together. So you might be on a contract or something like that together. But what I'm getting is that you are just living your best life. You'll be living your best life. And you'll be just getting on and doing your thing. And yeah, it will be destabilizing. But, you know, it is what it is. I think you'll just like... And I think you may... Okay, 2 things. You may be able to salvage the relationship. And you also may be able to find a new relationship. So that's for those of you who are looking for love. But those of you that are not, your ability to be able to invoke that sense of love within your life so that you can form good relationships is going to be totally enhanced by this inner work that you've done in terms of like your own self-parenting skills. And it also could be that with your current mother and father, there could be some good relationships that kind of like your relationship with your father could get even better, or there could be something around that may seem a bit better. They may come for you, or like help you in a way that you might not be used to. So they may come and support you in a way that you might not have been expecting. And be able to, they may see like the way that you're being may encourage them to want to help you. Because it also could be that you're showing them a sense of integrity that they may have wished that they had within themselves. Wow, that's a beautiful reading. Any other messages? Any other messages? Yeah, I just feel like the last year you've been working in yourself, and now you're stepping into your power, like fully. You're stepping into your power. You're stepping into the Emperor power. So good. Okay, so let's have a look at your energy going forward. Look at that sexuality, sacral chakra. Don't know if you can see that. And then we've also got number 6. Number 6 we had here, I think. Yeah, because that was 15 plus 1. Yeah, so 6. 6 is the number of the lovers. So you're making a choice to come forward and to take charge of your sensuality, your sexuality, more so your sexuality. Sexuality is not just about sex. Sexuality is about you being able to take charge of who you are, and also being able to create in a way that makes you feel proud of who you are. And that's what's happening here. And you need that. Sorry, you need these two to create that. You need the balance of the mother and the father. And the number 6 is about that harmonious aspect as well. In relation to the lovers, it's the idea of the ultimate balance between man and female. It can be temperance, which is no, that's the devil. It could be temperance to a certain extent, but this is more in the concept of like relationships with others. Which card do I want? Yeah, I'll do this number 1. Wow, 100. So inner knowing. Okay, I'll just get you to look at the card there. And then we've got inner knowing. Your heart is a wise and sacred portal to the divine, a place where wisdom and intuition reside. Through stillness and introspection, you can tap into the limitless well of knowing within you. This connection with your true self will guide you towards your highest path and purpose. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, and then we have some animal spirit. Wow, love that. Owl and wisdom. You know, you've grown so much. Pile 2, you've grown so much, and now you've become this full of wisdom and full of accepting of this inner knowing. Love it, Pile 2, love it. Wow. I practice astral projection to uncover messages from my guides and the universe. So I think this is really you understanding that you're connected to the divine, and you are downloading these messages. You're starting to trust yourself a lot more, and you're stepping into the power that you are starting to access through this kind of new way of being, through this honoring of these cycles, honoring of yourself, honoring of your kind of inner knowledge and knowing. It's incredible. I love it. I love it. I love it. And it's really gonna it's really powerful. It's gonna help you to kind of like root down, ground, and become a force to be reckoned with if you're not already. Pile 2. I hope you enjoyed that. That was such an incredible reading. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, take the best of care. I'm sending you so much love. This is such an incredible reading to be reading for you. Have an amazing year ahead. If you like this reading, or you would like to go in deeper, if you like this reading, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos, or share in the comments with me about your experiences. I'd love to hear it. Also, if you want to go more in depth, you can always get in contact with me, because remember, these messages are only general. On my email, which is in the description box down below. But otherwise, my darlings, take care. Have a beautiful day, morning, evening, night, whenever you're choosing to watch this. And remember that honesty is always key. Bye. Pile 3, hello and welcome to your reading. So you chose this beautiful, beautiful amber calcite. Can you see that? Amber calcite is a really interesting stone because it's really warming, beautiful, teaches us to find the inner fire within ourselves so that we can truly warm ourselves rather than allowing external things to provide that warmth. Interesting. And a piece of it just fell off. So what that says to me is that it's almost like you have to like make sure that you don't burn yourself to make sure that you are looking after yourself. So it's almost like you're understanding what your inner knowing and your inner fire is, but there may have been a sense of self-sacrifice or some kind of impact that caring for others may have had on you. So that's a really interesting thing. So maybe you're starting to realize that you're needing to take either better care of yourself, or that you're needing to you're needing to pay more attention to things that matter to you rather than to external matters or to external things that are happening, and taking care of them. So what I'm getting, like a mother who puts her children first, or doesn't really take care of herself that much, and thinks that she'll kind of like get round to it at a later point, that kind of essence. This doesn't have to be on a maternal level. It could be, you looking at, maybe at work, like you put yourself forward for something really when, it might not be very good for you to do so. The medallion. Wow. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is the idea of striving. I am getting very Cancerian maternal vibes here. And we've got a lot of yellow, orange, honey, red. So we're talking about the first 3 chakras. We're talking about the root chakra, the sacral, and the power chakra, the Muladhara Svadhisthana, and Manipura, the sun. So, and what I'm seeing here is like more of a sun kind of aspect, and also because we have a medallion which is synonymous with the sun, and then we have a diamond in the middle. But what's shining is not the diamond, but what's shining is the light that's coming from there. This actually looks a little bit dull. So it kind of reinforces what I was saying. I do think that this card is the energy that you're entering in this new year with. So kind of the stuff from last year. So it may be that you have been either trying, or you have been putting out this amazing, brilliant light, which everyone has been seeing is amazing. But now you're starting to see that actually there's some things which you need to take care of. Now, what I am seeing here, and I don't know, you might be able to see it, I can only just about see it, but there is sacred writing like on the edge there. Now, it could either be sacred writing, or it could actually, no, it is sacred writing. It is sacred writing, but it's almost like there is more to you. And that's interesting because when I looked here, there was this kind of empty space chamber here. So it's almost like there's more to you than meets the eye, and people are not getting to see that because they're focusing on this. So there's more to you that needs to come out, that you're needing to kind of give out, rather than, I don't know, there may be some kind of persona or personality that you're putting across. 59 is 5, so that's 5, 59. So yeah, 1 plus 4, which is 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. So yeah, there's a little bit of, that's really interesting for my pile 3s, because it seems like you're kind of the first stage, pile 1 is the second stage, and pile 2 is the third stage. So we'll see what happens in terms of development. But I think you may be realizing that you can't continue the way that you need to, or you're maybe realizing that you may be putting out more than you're getting. I think. Pile 3. Let's have a look at your other cards. What are you transforming into? Silver. Wow. So you're coming from gold into silver. So this is a beckoning of your intuition. It's asking, and it's interesting. We've got a gold coin and then we've got this silver coin. Insane, right? Okay, so what I get from that is that there's this need for you to, like, it's not even a need, it's a transition. So you've been shining bright and now it's time for you to go into your nighttime. It's time for you to like go into that space. And when I say nighttime, I'm not talking about, oh, it's going to be like a really dull and dormant year or whatever. I'm talking about there's just going to be a lot of internal stuff. You may have been putting a lot out there. So for example, you may have been like putting out a lot of projects. It may have been an external year in the sense of where you were like doing a lot of promotions and, you know, maybe a lot of stuff on like online, or like you were doing maybe tours or things like that, or you were just doing a lot where it was external. Now we're going to go internal. We're going to do a lot of work inside. It's going to be about you restructuring what's going on inside so that for the next cycle you can come out. And it's going to be relatively short. So it might happen before the end of the year is out. But I don't know. I feel like last year for you was a sun year and this year is a moon year, I feel. So it's more about your internal processes. It's more about you, your emotions, about the kind of like it's like the planning stages of this stage, you know? Okay, let's have a look at some astrology / wow. Well, that really makes sense. We've got active and it was reversed. So I think you are going to be very active, but nobody's going to see it. Nobody's going to see it. Okay, so by the way, we have 5 there, 10, 20, 5, 7, yeah. And then we've got active. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Absolutely, very interesting for you, pile 3. Forgiveness, I love that. Oh my God, and we've got another moon and sun. This has been very prevalent within all of the readings, so I'm just so glad that it's like a running theme for all of you. And look, the moon is on top. And then the sun is underneath, in the water, right? Or in this blue sky, or I don't know. But the water is dividing it. So it's almost like there's a need for you to understand your emotional state within this time so that you can navigate the waters really well. Yeah. Wow. Love that. Love that. So rather than, you know, what I said about, you know, you being actually the first stage, it's actually more a hibernation I'm getting, actually. It's just not as active as the other two. The other two are like quite active, the other 2 piles. But whereas like you're actually going underground a bit, and you're working by the energy of the moon rather than the energy of the sun. Okay, let's have a look at what your tarot has to say. So for for the next year, because this is, as you saw in the intro, if you chose to watch it, I said that even though I'm doing this at the beginning of 2024, this is a timeless reading, so you could be watching this at the end of 2024, and this could be for 2025, could be for any year. So yeah, I mean, of course I'll do another one, but I just didn't want to put this down to any year. I felt like Spirit wanted me to put this into a timeless perspective for you, and it very much has embodied that with these cycles of the moon and the sun. So yeah, it's really nice. Okay, so we're kicking off with Queen of Wands. Let's have a look. 4 of Swords. Yeah, it may seem as if you're resting, but you're not. Yeah? Just because I've said that, it doesn't mean that. Okay. So there's a bit of resistance to this. I'm not going to lie. Pile 3. A bit of resistance because you might be thinking, I need to get on and do things. But that doesn't mean that you can't do that without being kind of under the radar. Because I think what's happened is that you may think that, like, you know, you've kind of capitalized on this kind of like sense of success that's happened maybe in the last year. But there's something unseen that you need to pay attention to that I think is going to be really important. And I don't know, I'm really like seeing the feet here. So it may be something to do with like health in terms of like your feet or something like that. And, you know, people may think that it's it's something that we don't really pay that much attention to, but actually, you know, we walk on it. You know, for those of us who are lucky to be able to walk, we walk on those things every day. And most of us take it for granted. I think you're also starting to establish what's true for you. Like you're not, I don't think you are going to compromise yourself, but there is a sense of inner pride that you are going to be dealing with, because I don't know if you're 100% comfortable with not doing. You know, there's this thing where people just get so excited about being busy all the time, and being busy is good. We live in a society which tells us that if we're busy, then life is good. That means that we're succeeding at life. But actually, the reality is that if we just pay attention to what we're being busy with, then that actually makes more, you know, actually counts for more. I just got this thing as well, like count the pennies and the pounds will look after themselves. So it's almost like we do have to take care of the minor details. Because I think, Pile 3, I think that you are someone who is able to do things really well, really fast, really efficiently. I think that you are really good at what you do. And you're also good at showing people that you are really good at what you do. But I also think that this year is going to be a year of you learning how being busy is not the be-all and end-all of life. That's what I think this is about. Because I think there was a, and we've got Moon in Aquarius and it's reversed. And then we've got Moon as well. So we've got so much Moon energy here. Like it's saying to me, and particularly with this Moon as well, it's saying to me that you, and I'm, okay, right. I'm getting a bit all over, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here. There was a point where you had to be quite honest with yourself about what happened previously. And about what you did, you couldn't sustain it, you know? So, and it's interesting because we've got this 6 of Wands here. Not the regular 6 of Wands, but we've got this 6 of Wands. And this 6 of Wands, we've got this like guy holding on to this dragon here. Which says to me that, you know, things may have got a little bit like, you know, hard to handle. You did it was really good, but maybe you just didn't have the chance to be able to celebrate your successes because you were so busy with everything. It reminds me of a friend of mine that got married, and when she got married, she did everything herself. Like she did the wedding, she did everything herself. She organised everything herself. And then when she looked at the photo, she was like, I look so tired. I look exhausted. And I was like, well, you did everything yourself, you know. What else do you expect, you know? How can you do that? You have to like kind of like let go of the reins so that you can enjoy yourself a little bit more. So I think there's a bit of that because you know that you can probably do it better than anyone else, in your own opinion. So, but I think there's something that may crop up that you need to be aware of, and you need to have your wits about you. I'm gonna be as bold to say that I think that it's something that you can definitely handle. There may be something that might come out of the blue that you may understand. Like, it's not quite Tower, but it's almost like it gets revealed to you because you didn't know it before. And there's going to be a part of you that's not going to be able to rest. Like, I think like it may cause you some kind of issues. Like you may not be able to sleep properly and stuff because of all of this moon energy. Moon energy is tough energy. Like it's the sea not at rest. We're going to find out about a bit more about it. But it's almost like the stuff that you did with all of this medallion by kind of maybe overproducing or overdoing it a bit is going to kind of show you the consequences of that and how you need to manage that. That's what this year is going to be about. Now, that's not a bad thing. Actually, in fact, it's a really good thing because it helps you to be able to stabilize yourself in future so that when it comes to the following year, then you'll be able to go forward with a better balance of the two. So this is good. This is very good. And you'll ride it. Like Queen of Wands, she knows how to sort it out. She knows how to do it. She knows how to do it. The only thing I would say is just make sure that you're resting. But I mean, it doesn't really even say that. It says that you'll still be able to manage yourself and still be really active. I feel like you're somebody that you just can't, you wouldn't be able to rest easy. But there's something that will force you to do that. It will force you to do that. Okay, so we've got the Three of Pentacles reversed, Seven of Swords. What is that? No, that's the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands. Yeah, that's the Nine of Wands. Yeah, see? Yeah, Nine of Wands, Six of... Yeah, absolutely. And then we've got the Two of Pentacles and the Moon. Okay, right. Okay, I see what's going on now. Thank you, Spirit. We've got the Lovers. Right. And then we've got the Chariot reversed. Ah. I tell you, you're not going to be able to go, you're not going to be able to do whatever it is that you know, you may be like, yeah, I've got loads of things planned this year. I don't know. That might not happen. Not in the way that you think it will. And I'll say that with confidence. If this doesn't resonate, then it's not your reading. Please do check out some of the other readings. But for those of you that it resonates with, please do keep on watching and do let me know below. Okay, so we've got the Seven of Swords. Okay. I think there's an honesty here that you don't think that you can really collaborate with people to you understand that you've got to do things yourself. You've got to do it yourself. You can't really interact with others because it's almost like you have to do the work for them. And that isn't control freaky. That's more that because you want it a certain way. And people, you know, there's almost like a reputation that you have to protect. So, you know, that you have to deal with it. You have to deal with it. But because of that, the entity almost becomes like the thing that you do almost becomes bigger than you. And it causes you to maybe not be the friendliest of people to others. I'm just getting a very defensive energy here. So it means that, like, you know, because you want things a certain way and because they don't shine like the way that you want it to, you know, it really kind of, you know, you have to do it. Now, the problem with this is that you can't do that. Like, it's not possible to be able to function in this, like, with others when you do that. And I think that's what you're realizing because you know, there's a sense of where you can't handle it. Yeah. I'll go as far to say that. So I think pile 3. And please only take this with a pinch of salt and only if this resonates. But I think you burnt out a bit, to be fair. I think you burnt out. You burnt out because you tried to do everything. And now you're realizing that you can't. Look at the little toes just poking out there. It's almost like the bed's too big. You know, like when your toes poke out the bed? Yeah. It's almost like it wasn't big enough for you. So because you were so content on doing things yourself and in your own way. Because like Jupiter and Capricorn together, it should be a harmonious kind of balance between you being able to manage everything, like you being able to make everybody feel okay, then it would lead on to the 3, which is like Mars in Capricorn. But instead, it's destabilized stuff. What's interesting, though, is that you seem to recognize that this is an issue. I don't know, maybe your level of self-awareness, and probably your level of self-awareness is very high within this situation. Like, you're like, I pushed it a bit too much. I pushed it a bit too much last year, and now I need to take it easy and take care of those around me. So you may be like doing things like doing some nice things for your co-workers or maybe your employees or something like that. You know, I see this like as a CEO who's like burnt themselves out and now really needing to take some time out, because actually I think, you know, the people around you really love you and they know that you don't, that's not you, that's not who you are. So they might have like forced you to take a holiday or something, and you might be like, no, I don't want to take a holiday. And it's like, no, actually, they're doing it because they love me. Because you've got the Chariot reversed, 4 of Swords reversed. Chariot reversed, you know, you need to make it, that's like going forward, action, stepping forward, moving forward. 4 of Swords reversed, same, is that, but the Chariot is reversed. So it means like you can't. In fact, that means you're slowing down. That means you're slowing down. Because that's the sense of you not going as fast as you did. You have to take it easy. There may have been some kind of like health constraint that made you do that. And it's about you also making the choice to choose what's important. You know, there's that thing, people lose their health to gain their wealth, and then they spend their wealth to gain their health. So there's a bit of that here. Okay, so let's have a look at your other cards. Wow, look at that. Compassion. Heart chakra. I think you need to be compassionate to yourself. We've also got number 5 again. 1 + 4 = 5. So this is about you not only being compassionate to others, but compassionate to yourself. Pile 3. Be compassionate to yourself. Please do. And indulge in heart-centered power, because this is it. And then we can move beyond these 3 chakras, because there's this kind of theory that the majority of the world live within the first 3 chakras, the chakra of survival, the chakra of sexuality, and the chakra of power. But we want to move into the chakra of compassion so that we can kind of access those higher levels. And once those are activated in a really good way, then we can kind of move forward into where we need to be. And, you know, there's a calling for that. Okay, so follow your dream. We've got 10-10. Wow, beautiful card. Okay. So, enjoy the road you have taken towards your goals and dreams. Trust that the hard choices you have made are in line with who you are already and who you aspire to be. Be ready to step out of your comfort zone and watch the magic happen. Well, I mean, you being in this space, pile 1 and pile 3, is uncomfortable. I can sense that already, because you may be in a space where you're used to doing, and now you have to come into a space of submission and, you know, non-doing. And that can be really difficult for some people. So embrace it, because you're being given the chance to do that. Okay, and then we've got Parrot. We've got communication. So this is about you really being truthful with your communication. And this kind of Parrot energy, I'm also getting the sense of... I'm going to put that over here, actually. I'm also getting the sense of quite dominating energy. So, and also the sharpness of the beak. So... it's almost like, you know, what you say has got such an impact on people around you. I think it's almost like understanding that and how you put that into place, not only, and how it kind of reverberates back onto you. And also the lack of communication, like you not communicating that kind of sense across to people, and what impact that makes. Because silence is also really, like when you're not communicating, that's also really important. Not just in the sense of you not communicating, you know, not communicating your message, but more so in the fact that I'm choosing not to say anything because I don't need to, you know. Okay, and the last card to close out this reading, pile 3, is I charge water under the full moon's rays and drink it with intention to bring in good vibrations. We got a lot of moon here. So I would suggest doing a lot of moon work. If you don't do already, pay attention to the cycles that the moon is in at the moment. Like, pay attention to where it is. See how it affects you, because depending on what like signs it is, it affects, like, you know, what areas of your chart or what's going on. Please do look at that in correspondence with this, because I think it will really help you throughout the coming year to make the most of this downtime, because that's what I'm getting now. This is the downtime for you. That image is actually really perfect. It kind of encapsulates like the essence of what is going on for you in the coming year. And remember, that doesn't mean that you are not going to be doing anything. It means that you're just going to be taking time out for yourself to understand that the sun needs to go down sometimes, and it needs to be moon time sometimes, and then you'll rise again with much more vigor and power than you did before. Pile 3, I really hope you enjoyed that reading. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, it's been a pleasure as always to read for you. Thank you so much. Good luck for the new year. If you liked it, as I said, just give it a like or share. Please do comment down below. I'd love to hear your stories. But otherwise, my darlings, thank you so much. And also check out my other picker cards if you fancy. They're all timeless. I've got a playlist that I did, so check that out. But otherwise, take care, and remember that honesty is always key. Bye.